Welcome back, kids. This is Wednesday, Graphic Design 2, and I have a video on how to do the project for motion graphics. I think we called it web design animation. So here's the classroom here. Oh, let me turn this off here. Here's the classroom, and I'm in the class work, and we're working with the animated web graphics in Photoshop. Web graphics or motion graphics as it's often called. So I gave this little 1-minute video that showed you exactly what you were trying to make. As you can see up at the top, the logo comes in through the sides and the top and then glows really close to here. Let me zoom in and show you right there again. There we go, watch this. If I refresh the page, you can see how that works. That's your goal right there. And this is the file that you'll use. It says 12 start.psd. And when you click it, it might say this. Think, it might be offline, whatever. Try downloading it instead. Click up here at the top corner, click open in new window. And you can hit download here, or you can hit download up here. Either way, it's going to download the image. And at least on my Mac, it's going to allow me to either open it or save it. If you click open, you might not see Adobe Photoshop. Click other, and you can check your applications to see where it is. And I'm all set here. I'm clicking OK. Here's the file. Now, right now, I'm in the Essentials workspace. So I'm going to change my workspace. Now, I'm going to use the Motion workspace, but that's a new name. It might say Animate here, or it might say Timeline. Timeline is also down here. You can get it right down here if you want to as well. And very little changes. You just have, you'll need your layers panel. That's probably all you'll need. And here's the timeline, the bottom. Now at the bottom here at the timeline, if you end up getting this timeline, this is a video timeline with sound and all kinds of things. We don't want to use that one for this. So we're going to go ahead, click this button down here. If this is what you get, click these three little boxes here, and that gives you a timeline, a frame animation timeline. This is what we're doing. Now, frame animation, you can actually import where is it? You can import frames to make them into layers or stuff like that. But we're going to take these layers and we're going to make these layers to make our frame animation. You've already done the rocket ship, so you've got a pretty clear idea. The logo animation here is what we're animating, this stuff right here. And I have a frame here. It's set at 5 seconds. So I'm going to change that, put it down to 0.1 second, like that. And now I'm going to go ahead and start my animation by creating a duplicate frame. Duplicate frame is right here. This little button right here. Duplicate frame. I think you can also, up here under File, you could probably duplicate or edit. Duplicate a frame here somewhere. Let's see. Here we go. See, duplicate right there. Oh, that's not a frame though. Anyway, you can, I'm sure. But we can duplicate it by clicking this button here. Remember, this is a new file, a new program. All right, so now I've got this duplicate here. Now let's go back and take frame 2 and set everything to where it belongs. So if I click on the M, make sure you're on the M layer here. You might have to click this. See, I'm on auto select here. So when I click on it, it goes right to the M. And with my shift key down, I'm just going to move it over and off the page. Now, I don't want to bring it all the way off the page. You want it peeking just a little bit. That's just to make it a little easier for you. And now the A is going to go straight up. Again, use your Shift key to keep it straight. And just make sure you can just see it peeking from the top. So we're going from this to this. We don't want that though. We want to go from this to this. So take frame 2 and just move it over and change its position with frame 1. It's now called frame 1, and now frame 2 is what was the original one. So it goes from now this to this. And now we can go ahead and do some tweening. Tweening button is right here. Tweens animation frames. And now, of course, we're tweening with from frame 2, we're framing the previous frames, frame 1, with frame 2. Now, I'm going to turn these off here. Opacity and effect, we don't need those. We're just concerned about the position. Now, I will click OK, and oh, I'm going to undo that. I don't want 5 frames. I'm going to do 8 frames. I just did Control Z to undo that. You know that, right? Okay, now I've got all my frames. I go from frame 1 to frame 10, and let me play the image. Oh, here it says forever. Let's just do it once. Okay, hit frame, or hit play, and there we go. You can see it. I'll do it again, and you can see it happening here, like so. So that's just that part. That's just moving it into position, which looks pretty good. That's good graphics. Now let's go ahead and add the glow. So first off, we're going to start with frame 10. We're going to make a copy of it. So let's duplicate it, click that button, and now we have a duplicate. On this duplicate, we're going to go ahead and add the glow. So the glow is going to be here under Effects. Go to Outer Glow. So I want my outer glow, we go up to about 50% on the opacity, and I'm using about 10 pixels for the size, okay? Everything else, 0 noise. Notice this is white. If it's not white here, click this and push it to white. We don't want black or red or anything. Well, red glow looks kind of cool, but we want white. So a white box there. The spread, keep that at 0. Keep the size at 10. That's all you have to do. Click OK. And now, as you can see, the letter A has my outer glow. I'm going to copy that outer glow onto the M. Hold the Alt key down, or if you're using a Mac, as I am, use your Option key. Click on the outer glow, and as you drag it, you'll see a double arrow, black and white arrow. Bring it down to the M and drop it. And now my M has the same glow. Now let's go back to the first one. In order to do this glow from no glow to a nice big glow, we have to start here at 0. So we're going to go ahead and actually add a glow, outer glow, right onto the M. All we're going to do is move the opacity to 0. Leave the size at 10. Hold your Alt key or your Option key and drag that over to the M. Now I have those two. So I go from here, no glow, to on frame 10, no glow, to frame 11, a full glow, or 50% glow. Now let's do the tweening. So to want to tween on frame 11 with the previous number 10. Click the tweening button. There you go. Previous frames here. Let's not do 8. Let's try 5. And this time we do want to turn on the opacity and the effects, because remember, the effect is the outer glow, and we've altered the opacity. We have opacity at 0 on frame 10, and we have opacity at 50% on frame 11. So make sure all of those are clicked this time and click OK. Now let's go back to the beginning and give it a test. Hit play. And that looks nice. Now, if I wanted to, I could speed up or change these. If you want to adjust those, you can play with those. I found that 0.1 looked pretty good. And now we're done. This is it. You've done the design. Now you just have to save it and export it. So you're going to go to File and do a Save As. Now I don't have a flash drive or anything. I'm just going to use my Documents folder and find the word New folder. Depending on what type of what type of computer you're using, you might not see it you might see it at the top, or you might see it at the bottom. New folder right here. I'm going to call this folder motion graphics underscore and Zacconi. Now I know that's mine. Or you can do Zacconi / more. You put your name first. I don't care. But do change the name. Don't send it to me at 12 start. Hit create. There's my new folder. Motion graphics right there. Oh, I don't change that. I'm going to change that. That's not what I wanted to call that. Doesn't matter. I should have just called that motion graphics. Anyway, so now change this. Call this the same thing, pretty much. Save. Okay. Now it's saved. Now we can export. You're going to go to File and Export. Choose Save for the Web. Now it pops up on the Optimize page. What that means is it's adjusting the image to make sure the type looks correct and looks good. That's all it's doing. It's optimizing it. Over here, make sure it says GIF. Now, dithered is all about the colors here. So if I do GIF 120, no dither, see how it gives me all those colors here? Or dithered is 32, gives me this. I'm going to use 64 dithered. You can add the colors here too, like 128 colors if you want to. This doesn't really need to be that like that. And now here's the size down at the bottom here. And right here you got looping once or forever. I'm going to click it on once. And before I save, first of all, I can go ahead and play it right here. I can see it working right there. And I can hit the preview button here, and I can watch it go right there. If I refresh the page, where's refreshing these things? That little box there you guys get. That little thing. I don't know why it doesn't have one here. Oh well, it's a sample anyway. So you saw it move. And so let's go ahead and do the export. So now we're all set exporting. I can hit save again. 64 did. Oh, GIF here too. Don't leave it as a JPEG. Make it a GIF. Everything else should pretty much remains the same. Click save. Now it might come up with just images only. Change that to HTML and images. Put it in your motion graphics folder. That wasn't the one I was using. That's the one I used, but it doesn't really matter. There we go. And again, HTML and hit save. So hopefully that worked, and I can double check that by minimizing all of these and going into my document folder where I saved it. And I should be able to open this by double clicking it. Or do it this way. Nothing ever works here. Take it like this. Drag it up here. There we go. And here. Refresh it. Beautiful. Loved it. Okay, I got it. So that's it. Close that. Go ahead and please do upload both the Photoshop and the motion graphics. And you can upload that to the files. Thanks for listening.